Hello everybody, it's Connie and it's 2 o'clock and I will see how today goes. I have Moose sitting by my feet and he is obviously bored. I should have let him bring his toy over today. And he is, Moose is a big toy dog and I've cleaned up some of his toys because he keeps shredding them, and so now he's looking for something to play with. And I forgot, it was raining so hard I didn't let him bring over his lamb chop. He's got like one of those big, what are they, 2 or 3 foot lamb chop stuffies. Anyway, today I have so much to share. Hi Christy. Happy Wednesday. It is finally easing up on the rain here. It's still raining, but it's not scary. We've been in that hail, storm, tornado zone area, and it ended up going a little bit north of us, which is sad for those people, but good for us. I keep thinking if we have another big hailstorm, I am going to lose my insurance for our house. They're going to drop us like a hot potato because the last big hailstorm we had, the hail was about, around golf ball-ish size, and we had over $20,000 of damage. So, yikes. And then just north of us, about an hour north of us, they had softball-sized hail. I can't even imagine. That's like, they measured it, and it was like 4 1/4 to 5 inches around. And some people were describing it like grapefruit size, softball size. There's nothing that is not damaged when it's hit with hail that big. Oh, thank you, God, for not letting that hit here. Anyway, so today I just wanted to chat for a moment. First, I know the pictures are so scary. That was just north of us. We had like some pea-sized hail that lasted like a couple of minutes. It wasn't anything big, and it's that little tiny, kind that bounces on the ground, and it doesn't do damage. And it's just, the storm itself is so loud. It's so windy and loud. But we made it through just fine. We just have a lake outside of our house. A lot of water, which is good because we have droughts. I'm going to turn my light down just a little bit. Hold on. Okay. Little bit less glare. There's still glare, isn't there? Okay, so today oh my gosh, it's snowing. Because it was like 80 degrees yesterday. And then, of course, it's going to snow today. Hello, welcome to Illinois. Oh my God. Yeah. Hi, Margie. Hi, I bet you were scared during that storm yesterday. That was crazy. I'm glad it went north of you a little bit. Hey, we're just talking about the hail and the wind and the tornado. That tornado was bad. That was around Kankakee. About, I'd say an hour 15 north of us. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, so first I wanted to say this. Right now, this week is the Stampin' Up convention. They call it On Stage. It is in California this year. No, I am not going. You know what? I don't go to convention very often. It's usually somewhere where you have to fly. It's usually pretty expensive. To me, it's the money and the time. So it's really hard for me to spend an entire week away from my family, because if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'd rather take a family trip, if that makes sense. And now it's kind of scary to go for too long, even if it's a family trip, because, you know, my dad is here, and yes, he's married, but things happen while we're gone. Things happen every time we leave town. Last time we went to Disney, Steve's brother was in ICU, and we got the call that he was dying and that we needed to get back right away. And then we were talking about, you know, but there's no way we would have made it in time. And then he turned a corner and got better for a little bit. But yeah, spending that money, I would rather buy stuff. Isn't that terrible? But speaking of buying stuff, first of all, I want you to know that I just took a class online. It was a Hero Arts friendship themed stamp along. Got lots of product. I think I showed you all the product that we got. But I want to show you the cards we made, and today I want to recreate one using Stampin' Up product because I was really excited about it. So this card is an acetate card. You know, acetate cards are starting to make another comeback. You know, it seemed like there was a time when everybody was making acetate cards, and that was like a thing. And so this one is an acetate card, and we put cardstock panels on the front and back of this part of the acetate. I would have made this card differently a little bit, but we can recreate it. What's really cool is I should say we, not they, but texture paste on the front of the acetate through a stencil, and it takes a minute to dry, but look at how cool that is. It turned out really neat. Also they have like a black spatter kind of product, and we used that on there. You might be able to see it spattered on there. Anyway, I thought that was really cool. And then, yeah, I would do this just a little differently, but it's a really neat card. Here's the next one. Basic, simple stenciling and stamping. This is die cut, but it's really neat. This lady used the texture paste around the edge of the card, so you can kind of see it's dimensional, and I used the sparkle paste instead of the paste that they sent. I used the Stampin' Up because I really love this. So this is the Stampin' Up paste. It's called Shimmery White Embossing Paste. It lasts forever, and what I like about it is that it's sparkly. It has a little bit of shimmer in it. The Hero Arts paste is just white without sparkle, so you can see the sparkle on this one also. It wasn't all using paste though. This is one where we basically just stamped and die cut, and I think it turned out really nice. I added extra flowers from the other card, so I put those on the inside. This was my favorite card. Okay, so many of you know that I'm a honeybee stamps freak. I love a lot of their stamps. I own a lot of their stamps. And Kelly Taylor, if you want to look for somebody fun to watch on YouTube, Kelly Taylor makes a lot of projects using honeybee stamps. She's like one of their artists. And so she did this card We made this one. It looks so dimensional. It looks so cool, and it's so easy. I can't wait to show you this technique. It is so fun. And we used the panels that we created, and we made 3 different cards using that really cool technique. And it's really perfect for the stamp positioner. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I personally added the little gems because I'm trying to use up some of my stash. I have a huge stash of colored gems. I don't want to sell them. I want to keep them. I want to keep them forever and hoard them and love them. But the truth is, I need to use some up because I'm drowning in embellishments right now. I've cut myself off a little bit from some of the Stampin' Up! Embellishments that keep drawing my eye because I need a minute. I need a minute to use what I've got. So this card is a card that was created by Jennifer McGuire. And as soon as we made it, and it was so easy, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying to recreate this card. But I needed to recreate it in my own way. There's another card that she made that I'm going to make next week. I have scrapbooking stuff on Friday. Next week I have a card another card. Hold on a minute, I'll show you. Next week we're going to make this card. Look. I just love it. So it's very similar to this, but was just a little add-on card that she showed. Anyway, what I like about this one is that it's 3-panel. You know, Stampin' Up! Made one very similar to this during their live event. And so I was like, gosh, I'm going to make a whole batch of these. It's so much fun to create. And this is an acetate card too. They did some acetate. You can see it shine. And it was just kind of a neat technique. So here is the thing. I was digging through, cleaning out the stuff that had retired. Did you notice that Stampin' Up! Changed their last chance list? It had like 7 or 8 pages, and now it's down to 2. A whole bunch of stuff was discontinued and no longer available. And these Pears were on the unavailable list, so I was like, oh my gosh. So when I was pulling out things that were retired, I found this entire unopened pack of the Painterly Pears. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I still had been hoarding like 5 sheets of it that I had left after I had scrapbooked and made batches of cards. I still had a lot of paper left. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to batch some cards. And I want to show you what I made today. But anybody who orders, I was going to tear this open and go for it and make tons of stash busting projects. But I decided it's been a long time since I've had a giveaway, and this pack is so beautiful. It makes the most gorgeous scrapbook pages, and it makes beautiful cards. And so I decided it's going to be a giveaway, a random draw. Anybody who purchases from me during the month of March is going to be in the drawing for this paper pack. And if you don't want it, you just say so. Just say, don't include me, you know. I'll send you something different. But this is so beautiful. And I was so bummed. This had gotten shoved back into my storage area, like pushed farther back. And I forgot I had it. I had bought the whole suite, and then I bought an extra paper pack knowing I would probably make tons of projects using it. And then I realized today, I'm like, okay, It's time. It's time to use it up. And what I have left in this paper, so I just want to show you, like, these 2 pages I had been hoarding a little bit, because what's cool about this border thing is, yeah, it makes a great scrapbook page, or like I tend to cut these in half and spread them across 2 pages. But what's really nice for card makers is that you can cut them into 4-inch strips and cut it in half, right? Cut that little 1/2-inch strip out of there. And you have card bases, simple, easy, fast card bases. Add a message and you're basically done. Bees, add the little bee trinkets to that. Oh my gosh. And you're good, right? The other side of this paper is this peach color. And I want to say, let me look it up. Gosh, this is petal pink. It's kind of a peachy color. This is what I consider, when I look at this, I think of this as ballerina, because that's kind of the color. It's kind of a peach color. I think my camera shows it fairly realistic. And then, of course, it goes, all of it coordinates. And then the other paper that I have left, all I have left is the stuff that I'm going to make cards with. So I'm trying to show you, it has a couple of different greens. It's like old olive and, oh, this is for something else. That was from something else. Old olive, and there's this, what I consider ugly gray background pear paper. And I'll show you a little more of that in a minute, because I'm going to make a card. So here's the card that I made. It is the same kind of style. Look at me copying like nobody's business. I had 2 sheets of this yellow print left. It's like a darling duckling background. That is my least favorite of all Stampin' Up! Colors, is darling duckling. And what I'm learning is that as I use more of their colors, it has its place. It kind of looks gold a lot if you use it in the right way, but this particular print is actually really pretty, and I decided I'm just gonna go for it and make some cards, right? And so the darling duckling has the yellow front and this on the back, and this was hard for me to use, so that's why I had saved it. But look, I used it in the background, I cut out the pears, and then I decorated the inside. So let's make this. And I made a whole batch. Look, I made a lot of cards because I had 2 sheets, and I can make those go pretty far. And then when I was just gonna make them and move on, and then I was like, oh yeah, I probably should show you guys how I made it. That's a good idea. So I like this Perfectly Pears stamp set. I don't have any other stamp sets that have pears. I do have a lot of fruit, but I don't have pears, so I may keep it. I can't decide. Sometimes I get tired of using the same set over and over again, and so we'll see. We'll see, because sometimes if I use it a lot, and I've used this a lot, I just kind of am like, I'm done. I won't pull it again. But you can see it's really pretty. So the cool part about this is 1 sheet of the pear paper has a lot of this style pear and this style pear, and the dies will cut that out directly, you know? So if you're the winner of this paper pack and you're kind of interested in having the dies or the set, message me, because it might be pretty inexpensive for you. I also cut some of these leaves out of Old Olive. I cut a few pieces like this out of Secret Sea and Peach, just to have something to go with it. These little leaves and stems are part of the paper pack also, so it cut that out of the paper. And so one of the sheets I had left was the print with all the pears. I had intentionally kept it thinking I would need artwork, and I didn't want to necessarily create my own, and I could have created my own, right? Because I have this. But I thought I'll just cut it out of the paper. So that was one sheet. I had 2 sheets of the Darling Duckling. I had 2 sheets of this, 1.5 sheets of this ugly gray background. Why did they use that background on this? It didn't coordinate with anything else in the set other than it had pears on it. I just didn't get it. But this side was a win. This color of green is a big win. So of course I was able to use that. And then this piece is actually from the Lovely Florals or something like that. I have a flower set. I think I'll show you some scrapbook pages with that Friday. So cool. All right. And then these were part of the suite also. Low profile sparkle dots. I have no idea if this is available still. I didn't look this one up. I'm sorry. I usually do. I usually look things up before I show them, because I know it's frustrating to have all this stuff shown and then you want it and you can't get it. So here's what I did. I started making this card and then I realized, oh, I guess I should show you. I used the Old Olive and I made a card base. And then I used the Arches dies. Those arches are a winner. I don't know why I curled this so much. Let me uncurl it a little. It won't lay flat because I haven't messed with it very much yet. But those arches, I have them in another pile because I'm going to show you, they're in my other pile with my other card that I'm going to be making. But what I did was I cut, you can see I cut an arch, a large arch out of the green, and the next smaller arch out of a peach panel. So I have, I think this is Petal Pink and the Old Olive. And then I cut the biggest arch out of that Darling Duckling. And then I just layered it. I just layered it on top of each other. There is no acetate in here. I wasn't going to add acetate. And then I was like, well, it's hard to recreate this card without adding some acetate, because the way it works is that you put a panel on the inside and then you decorate the outside on the acetate and it overlays. So I'm going to put acetate on the inside. Now normally I just use liquid glue, but acetate, first of all, the adhesive shows, but it sticks better to tape runner or tear tape, okay? So you want to use one of those adhesives and just put your acetate onto that peach panel. Now, in her card, she put the acetate as a sandwich between these two panels. So you wouldn't see the adhesive. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. She cut the big arch out of the white, attached the acetate to the back of it, and then she used this purple with a smaller arch on top of it, and then you don't see any of the adhesive. Well, that was smart. Did I do that? No, I did not. So I didn't realize it until later, and I had already assembly lined my cards. So there you go. That's what I did. The next thing that I did that I think I need the panel that goes right here, and you could use a piece of cardstock. I was trying to use up the last of my paper, so I decided to use this right here. This my ugly pear paper, but it's beautiful on the other side. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this edge and hook it over the side of the back of my card. And then what happens, see, it flips to the inside. So all of these are A2 panels, you know, the 5 1/4 or 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. They're all the same size, but this one I made a little bigger. Now on her card, she just used 2 card fronts sandwiched together and adhered right here. So here's a card base, here's a card base, and she glued them together right there, and it made a triple panel. You could use a 12 by 12, you know, piece of paper and just cut it to 5 1/2 and make these panels 4 inches. But I did not do that. So this is what I did. And then this, when you do that, it really helps to trim just a sliver off of here so that it doesn't go right into your score. Otherwise your card has a hard time closing. So I just made my panel, I just scored it so this was like 4 inches. And then whatever was left hanging over was my flap. So that's how I did it. Yes, ugly. I know. It's not my style. And it's sideways, which is even better. Okay, but I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Okay, so then I had this, you know, the arch that I had cut out of here. Do you see that? I had cut it right out of here. And then what I did was I flipped it over and I thought that'll be perfect on the inside of the card. So what you have to do is just make sure your arch shows through the window. And so I'm just eyeballing it to the center. I'm not pushing it down yet. And then I can flip this closed and just make sure that it shows through, that I don't have weird edges. Right? Now, when this is closed, I want that inside decorated. And I decided to use the pears. I think the pears look really nice. And there's 2 different styles of pears on that paper. And so I just cut them all out. The back of this paper is really great. Why did they put this beautiful pear, this beautiful green on the back of the pears? They should have put it on the Darling Ducklings piece, and then it would have been easy to use. Instead of having one paper that's not totally my taste, I ended up, you know, I would have been able to flip, but they, you know, some people love that, right? I mean, I can't totally complain because I'm using it. Okay, where is my other stem? Here's a stem. So I'm just using the pieces that I cut out of the paper. I didn't even stamp or do anything. I'm just stash busting with this paper today. Come on. My glue stuck really fast on that one. All right. We'll do that. So what I like about that then is that it shows through. Boom. And it's pretty. Now on the rest of the inside of the card, I felt like it needed more. And I had all these scraps and pieces and things that you can do. I had more of this panel. I had the green, and you know, if you put that on there, it kind of covers a lot of the pears. I think I'll do that. The other thing, if you're using pattern paper as a panel on your card, it does add a little sturdiness to the card to be add a second layer to it, because it's kind of, it's DSP. It's not very sturdy. That's one thing about this card is that, man, it's sturdy. It's got 2 layers of cardstock here, a layer of cardstock here that gets folded in, and then a cardstock panel put on top. This one's got it's got the card front, the acetate, and this card panel. So when you look at the overall thickness of this card, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of cardstock essentially. So I thought the DSP would be fine on here. And then, you can decorate this any way you want. I just used all my little parts and pieces because I just thought it looks nice. And if I want to put a white panel in there, I can. That was the paper where you could cut out the flowers, you could cut out the pear, you could cut out the little pears. These little pieces that are dies, I really like these. These would look really nice for a background for anything. I mean, really. You could put this burlappy kind of look on, the new fruit sets that are out, my racetrack things. You could do it in any way you like, right? Let's see, what else do I want to do? I feel like I could put something across here. This is what I did with the whole paper pack. I just cut my main pieces out that I needed to make a whole bunch of cards. And then all the little tiny scraps that I had left, I fit them in. However I could make them look good. And okay, like that, I like that. And then this flips shut. This shows like this. And then on this side, remember I told you I have that stem that I cut out? You could use any greenery or leaves you wanted. And I just put this across here. And remember, it's going to show on the other side, right? It's going to show. That glue will dry clear. It'll look clear. Oh, there's my other stem. Look. I have another pear. And then I have these little flowers. And I went ahead and cut out tons of those too because that paper had so many of them, right? There was like gobs of, there was flowers, there was the pear stems, the pears. And so whatever you want to use, right? There was gobs of it. I'm going to use a foam dot for this third one. Try to decide which way I want it. I want it to look different from the other two. I think that looks really nice. Now, the one thing that she did on a couple of the cards, look at, these are the scraps I have left over after I've used up all of those. I have enough for another couple of basic cards, and I may throw together a couple more cards because I can, rather than throw it away, right? But I really love this. And look at the dots. So the cool thing about this paper pack is it's got Secret Sea, which is that really deep navy. It's got that old olive, and it's got a yellow. I would call this Daffodil Delight. But you can, what she did on one of them, which I thought was brilliant, was she put the gems on the outside of the acetate. And when you opened it, you can see them through the acetate, but it just added kind of a cool layer to the outside of the card. And you could use any color you wanted to out of the set. And so I'm just gonna add a few here. And I don't know. I just think this is really, really great. It's fun to, you know, I have a lot of supplies, and it's fun to use them up and not be storing them in a drawer, right? Okay, so there's my card. It's like a triple card. I'm going to show you really quick. Hold on. So if you take two card bases and you score them, I'm going to score these in half off camera really quick, just to show you how that one card was put together. There's one. There's two. Okay, so you have two card bases. This probably is obvious to you, but since I didn't have it to show you before. Okay, so like these two panels would glue together and you would end up with a trifold, right? And before you do that, you would want to cut your giant arch out of here. Cut your middle arch. There's like different, the cool part about the arches, let me see. I have like so many projects piled up, ready to go. The cool thing about the arches is that you have so many layers. So if you, instead of like I call this outer one number 1. So if I use number 2 for my darling duckling layer, right? And then I use number 3 for my card base layer. And then use number 4 as my petal pink layer. You end up with all these layers, and look how beautiful that is. Do you see that? How cool that is? I buy from everywhere. I buy from everyone. I love layering dies. And these arches are a find. These are amazing. What happens, a lot of the arch dies I've seen from other companies, they're too tall and skinny. These are wider, which makes a better card front. And then as they cascade down to the middle, these littler ones are perfect for like if you wanted to cut this out and put a message on them, make like a little tag. So the last few layers are perfect tag shapes. So this is like one of those things that I will keep in my stash forever. Look, and so were the decals. The decals were the same way. I just keep them all. It's like a real investment in something totally usable, right? What do you think? Anyway, so there is, and you can see, like if I put these together, if I glued those together, you can see it might hitch up a little, so it helps to trim these panels just a sliver so that you don't have anything inside your fold that keeps it from shutting really nice and smooth. Okay, that is what I have today, y'all. Let's see. So, I know I wanted to show you 2 cards. I have another card that I was going to show, but I'm like, this is good. And Friday, I have scrapbooking stuff. I have a lineup of things on my project cart to show. I'm excited about all of them, but this one was a cool thing. Now, on this one, she just used a message across the front. And when I make that card for you guys next week, I can kind of show you how I'm doing this. So, awesome. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I hope you love it. And I will see you on Friday. And feel free to message me to gossip about all the new stuff. I'm hoping my upline messages me from on stage this weekend and talks about all the new things. The new catalog is going to be available to demonstrators to see online on like I can't remember if it's the 16th or the 18th. 16th, I think. And I'm kind of excited about that because, wow, right? And remember, we have until the end of, I think, April before the new colors go away. And so, if you are in love with those new colors, it is time. And the other thing they've made very clear to us is that there's going to be price increases on a lot of things, okay? And so I'm using Pretty in Pink and Petunia Pop like mad. I had no idea how much I love these colors, but I'm using them almost daily right now. And so those are going to be hard for me. I did go ahead and I bought the Petunia Pop ink, and I'm considering the Pretty in Pink ink because I use it so often. So there you go. So if you like the foam ink pads, now is the time to buy them. The retiring ink colors. Yeah, you know what? I've spent the entire year trying to figure out how to use Peach Pie because Peach Pie, in my opinion, is too bright for most of the things I use it for. It's not quite orange, it's not quite pink, and it's a bright color. And you can see, like, I thought it was a peach, but when you use it with what I consider peachy colors, it doesn't go with what I own or what I use. And so this color, I have an by 8.5 by 11 pack of it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Summer Splash, I have used gobs of. I love this, but Coastal Cabana is very close to it. They're very similar. And I actually kind of like Coastal Cabana a little better. So you could get by with either one. Honestly, I have Coastal Cabana in the ink and the paper, and I like it a lot. And they're almost interchangeable. Shy Shamrock, I have a whole pack of this, which I had not used at all until that Easter pack came out. And it goes like crazy, and I've used an entire pack of it now. Because, you know, I made so many Easter cards, and cutting out that little grass, it's the perfect color of grass for that paper pack. So if you buy that Easter pack, this is a great color. I don't think you need the ink necessarily. I don't know. It's up to you. My favorite is Petunia Pop. I've used it on everything. As a matter of fact, hold on. I'm trying to see if I have that card that I made sitting out here somewhere. I've made a whole bunch of cards for next week, and one of them is, I think I just showed you, the Petunia Pop. And during this class, I used it because it worked so nicely with these cards. Yeah, I have gobs of cards that I've made using it. And then I think it's interesting that I'm grabbing the Pretty in Pink more than pink. Like, what's the other pink they have? Flirty Flamingo, right? And Strawberry Slush. You know what? This Flirty Flamingo, I don't use it as often because it's got a darker peach pink color. It's not quite peach, and it's not quite pink, but this one is pink. Like, when I'm looking for a true light pink, I like Pretty in Pink. I don't think I cut a cardstock in Strawberry Slush. I don't know why I didn't, but I definitely have it. Here's Petal Pink. So there's all your pinks. See, it's more of a peach Flirty Flamingo. It's not my favorite. I love Strawberry Slush. I've used, this reminds me of the Close to My Heart Flamingo. This is the Close to My Heart Flamingo, and I think that's why I like this one so much. It's almost interchangeable when you stamp with it or ink blend with it. It's one of my most used pinks because it's a true pink. You could use it for baby pink. You can use it, it's a pink. It's not peach. All of the other pinks that is their standard has a peach tone that I like pink sometimes. That's why I like the Strawberry Slush. It's like, you know, when you're looking for a darker and a lighter, it's really nice to have the different shades. I don't have Bubble Bath because Bubble Bath is another one that is okay. So Bubble Bath has a purple tone. I don't know how well you can see it on here. I struggled with where to put Bubble Bath on the ring because look at this. It's like the light tone to the Petunia Pop. Do you see that? Look at that. It's in the same family. I have struggled a lot in using this, but maybe my trick is I need to use it in layers with the Petunia Pop. I think that might look really nice. I need to start thinking about that because I've always thought of it as a pink, but it's off. It's off in that it doesn't go with their other pinks, but it does go with their purpley pink. That's interesting. When I think of bubble bath, I think of Mr. Bubble. Remember Mr. Bubble? And do you remember the, which is more like bubblegum color? And then Avon had like a bubble bath that was a pink, but it was more, I don't know. I want to say it was more this color pink. I don't know. It's hard, right? There's all your... So there's all your pink colors. I don't know what you use the most, okay? I don't know, but I'm not buying packs of bubble bath. I'm not buying packs of bubble bath. I won't use it. I have used some Flirty Flamingo because they use it in some of their paper pack DSPs. And sometimes it's really nice to have like what coordinates, but I have not been buying Petal Pink very much. I've gone through gobs of Pretty in Pink, and I've gone through an entire pack of Petunia Pop. But see, then you've got Fresh Freesia. Well, let's see. Hold on. If I maybe that's the key right there. Look at that. Put those three together. They're like a light, a medium, and a dark. That's how I need to start using it. I need to use it as a color family when I'm blending and stuff. Right? Look how well that works together. I hadn't really thought about that before. But wow, look at my nails. It almost matches Petunia Pop. That's weird. Not intentional. But those colors are going away. And so I'm kind of making decisions on, I don't like to have a whole lot of stuff sitting around in storage, not being used. And I'm afraid if I buy too much of the paper that's retired, I will store it forever. But I've been using my Close to My Heart paper, and that's been retired. I've been using it like crazy. So, hey, that's something, right? I mean, I feel like I've had gobs and gobs of stash that I've gone through this year since I've made a point of, going through things. It really does help to do that. Let's see. I have all these arches that I cut out. Now I have a whole big stash of arches that I can stack up. Right? That's funny. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great afternoon, and I hope your weather is better. What'd you say? Fresh Freesia ink is more of a dark pastel. Petunia Pop bumps up the jewel tone. It's brighter. I use them together all the time. Hold on a minute. One thing that I have been ink blending these colors together like crazy. Yes, it would. This would work great. It would work. Yep. I should prove it to you. It would work. And I think the addition of, if I start thinking of bubble bath in that mix, I think we're in good shape here. Then we got 4 colors. Look at that. Don't look at the ones under it, but look at that. That's a 4-color blend family. I wonder if that's how they're choosing their colors. There's already been a hint of what are the new colors they've hinted at. That beautiful blue that reminds me of Bluebell. Oh, and that's what I'm going to show you Friday, because I have some scrapbook pages that are gorgeous, made with a paper pack that has the hint color in it. And then the new paper pumpkin announcement that I posted today, if you zoom in, there's a, I think it was in the paper pumpkin, there was like a new pine color, a new green. So that means one of their greens is probably getting discontinued, but I don't know. They may just be adding to the greens. I don't think they need more greens. I think where I'm missing color is when I do the color families, I could use a better yellow shading and a better orange. Like these don't just naturally go together. If I cut out Darling Duckling, sometimes I can use those 3. Darling Duckling is good for gold. Like if you're gonna make a Christmas bell or something. Yes, pine. Yeah. The new color. Yeah, the new in colors are really nice. They're soft. I feel like they have really great a teal mix. I don't love Pool Party. I wish they would get rid of Pool Party. I'm probably in the minority on that, but that's okay. But that, like, this teal set is nice, but Pool Party isn't, it's so bright in the ink. It's too much. And I wish they had a blue in this. The blues are not, I think they're lacking in blues. So they came out with, say we got the gray blues going, but the blues, they're missing a light blue. It's kind of like, this is too gray, this is too bright. I would love to have something in between here. That's a true blue. I know, I'm not picky or anything. It'd be so hard to be on that team and try to decide what colors, because like you said, you love Pool Party. I don't love it. And you're right. The reason Shaded Spruce isn't a favorite is because it's almost too blue. There's nothing to go with it. There's no other colors that blend with it really well. I mean, look at all the greens. And see, the greens need a better mix. Like you've got the old olive and the granny apple green that kind of give you that light dark. What I'm finding is, like, when I do leaves and I need a dark and a light, I tend to rush to old olive. Old olive is like my go-to color for most leaves. But then if you need a light, this is awful bright. And then this one is super light, Lemon Lime Twist. And then Soft Sea Foam is super light. And so it's like they don't flow. The Lemon Lime Twist and the Garden Green go together really nicely, but they're very contrasting. It'd be nice to have something in between there. So I think I could see where their greens could need a little work. And maybe pine will be something in between here, which might be good. Might take over for the blue-green. Yeah, I don't know. So interesting to talk about the colors, isn't it? It's so fun to wish and dream. And I love Timid Tiger and Pumpkin Pie. I think those two are great. And when I need a softer orange, look what I put with it. Maybe Peach Pie is supposed to go with those. Maybe that's supposed to make up the trio, and I'm just thinking of it wrong. But it's really, because it is almost an orange color. I don't know, maybe I'll start using these together and just see if maybe I need to move it on my ring. Yeah, I don't know. It's so fun. I just can't decide, like, you know, I can't wait for the new catalog to come out. I don't like Lemon Lolly. I don't even like saying the word Lemon Lolly. I don't like the color. I've had trouble finding a use for it. I will not buy the ink. I say that now and they'll come out with something amazing in Lemon Lolly. Yellows have always been hard for me though, because my favorite yellow is Honey Butter, which was, you know, close to my heart. Right? This is my favorite trio that I'm using right now and close to my heart. So the Honey Butter is very, very close to Daffodil Delight. It's almost a perfect match for it. And I think Crushed Curry is very close to Sundance when you stamp it. Right here, it's a little off. It's a little brighter, but it's very close. And then this Lemonade is a great color because it's a little brighter. It goes with the yellows nicely without being a pastel. And so when you put Lemon Lolly with that, there's the difference. And so I just feel like it's too pale, or they need something in between. And Darling Duckling did not do it for me. Darling Duckling has a weird green cast that I can't get used to. If you use it in a small amount, it works great. But once you use it in a big swatch like this, it's a little much. So too bright. Yeah, too bright. So, all right. Well, I've been on here forever, and we could talk about color all day because look at I think we have talked about every color in here. We didn't talk about the reds. Oh, wouldn't you be sad if they got rid of Real Red? Real Red is like the best red I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Their reds are perfect. I love all the reds. Poppy Parade could be a little less orange, but even that has a place. I love it. Love the reds. Cherry Cobbler, beautiful. All of those. I think I own all the inks for reds. Love them. Use all of the cardstock. But Real Red, oh my gosh, at Christmas I probably went through 3 or 4 packs of Real Red, just making Christmas cards. And then browns. Everybody loves Crumb Cake, but you know what I'm using more of is Pecan Pie. That's the brown. That's the brown I use the most, this one. That looks more like a true saddle brown kind of brown. And I really, really love the basic beige and the vanilla as a neutral. Those are nice. They have different places, you know, where you use them. And then the grays are fine. I wish there was a softer gray. Cloud Cover kind of fit that bill. Whoa. And just think, when they bring in the new ink pads, wouldn't it be great if they started with Cloud Cover? Oh my gosh. It'd be amazing to have Cloud Cover ink available to everyone, because You know what cloud cover looks like? And I probably shouldn't say this, but it looks just like a lot like Mist. Did you guys remember Mist with Close to My Heart? It's very close. Mist is just a little bit grayer, but they're very close. Sometimes I bought the cloud cover ink and I use it like crazy, but it's not available to all customers. And so I'm ready for it to be a real color and in a real ink pad. That would be great. Yeah, perfect for gingerbread. That pecan pie. You know what is kind of missing? What I would really like to see isn't true craft cardstock. I miss craft cardstock. I kept some in my stash and I've been hoarding it and afraid to use it because I don't always find it when I'm shopping. I was going to pull some out and compare it, but craft has a little bit more of a yellow tone than that. So I thought I would use espresso more, but I actually use pecan pie the most. I've actually gone through 2 packs of the 8.5 by 11 of pecan pie. So I don't know. If you're looking for things to buy before the prices go up, think about your color families and how you use them. What you like to use for card bases. The perfect, the thick white is very nice for card bases. You know, I've got Steve buying us envelopes or getting us envelopes. It's hard for him to get A2, but I told him I might make a special purchase. They're so inexpensive, those A2 envelopes. So all my customers in downline can benefit from my people in the paper industry. But yeah, the thick white is a good investment for card bases. All of the two-tone is a little light for card bases, in my opinion. It's just a little light. If you want to mail cards, they're perfect because they're just a little lighter weight. And especially if you have people who don't keep your cards forever, because they're just going to end up throwing them away at some point. The two-tone cardstock is just a little lighter weight than the die-through. But I like to buy the 8.5 by 11 die-through cardstock for card bases. And so I've been slowly stocking up on that before the prices go up. And that's what I've been using my rewards on, is stuff like that I hate to spend my money on. It's nice to have the rewards to use for things I don't want to actually buy. You know what I mean? I'm so cheap. But anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna finish this little pear card and call it done. I might get out my white. I have like gobs of panels, so you have like different panels. So anyway, have a good day, everybody, and and a quick announcement. They announced the album retreat. Oh my gosh. It's going to go on sale the end of March. Is it next week? What day was that, Christy? The 24th, something like that. I'm all in. They showed samples. I'll post the album retreat photos that I've seen so that you guys can decide if you want to do it. I know it seems a little pricey, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So try to decide what I want to do with this card. Use up my pieces. I'm ready to use up some of my pieces. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. 18th. Yeah, that's like next week. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I'm totally buying the album retreat. And just think of all the rewards you get with the album retreat. You could use those. You could place an order and get the, $25 in rewards. You could use that $25 for page protectors, an album. You could use it for, card stock. You could stock up on adhesive, whatever you want. Like if there's a certain set that you're just dying for, seriously, there are so many cool things. So I'm excited about all of the stuff coming up, all of the new stuff. And I still have a lot of things to show you that just were released. Yikes. And I love them. I've started purging through some of my retired things, and I'm surprised at how little I'm getting rid of, because I have a tendency to get sick of things from using it so often that I have to get rid of it. And I don't feel that way right now. So that's kind of exciting. Okay. Yes, totally in for the album retreat. It's going to be so good. So good. All right. Chat with y'all later. Bye-bye.